Shields up, Ironbreakers. Welcome to the very first Dark Souls 3 video where I'm actually playing and doing live commentary at the same time. So before we get started with this video, as you guys clearly saw in the title, it most likely says no spoilers somewhere because I wanted to bring this video to you guys in a way that those of you that aren't going to have access to the game for a while can enjoy it without being spoiled of anything. So there will be absolutely no spoilers. What I'm going to do here is we are at one of the very first levels in the game. And I'm going to just be going around throughout this level explaining a couple of the mechanics and how the game kind of plays right now. And it's just, this is, once again, one of the first levels in the game. This game has been played ad nauseum throughout the network stress tests. People live streamed it. People posted a ton of gameplay footage. So unless you've been actively on a media blackout for Dark Souls 3, chances are you've already seen footage of this level somewhere, even just in the gameplay trailers. So that's why I picked this specific level. Later today, you will have, hopefully, the first episode of my playthrough of Dark Souls 3 going up. That is going to contain spoilers. This one, however, no spoilers here. We're just going to go into a couple of mechanics, and I just plan to do this as a very light video for Dark Souls 3. So the class that we've chosen for this particular character here for me to show you is the Pyromancer. I kind of regret that, to be honest, because I haven't played any spell casting in Dark Souls 3 at all. My main character has been a strength-based character because I've been having a lot of fun with that. I picked up an old weapon that some of you guys will recognize, and you guys know that I love that weapon. But I'm not going to spoil you guys all that much. The weapon that we currently have right now is a deep axe. This axe is basically just a battle axe that's enchanted with dark damage. I'm not going to show you where you can get this axe because, like I said, I'm going to go through this area, and I'm not going to go through the entirety of the area, so to speak. I'm going to leave a lot of things for you guys to find out by yourselves. I'm just going to give it the basic run through. So let's kill a couple more of these dudes as we go through here. And as soon as we clear this area, I'm going to show you guys my, not my build, but my stats and the stats that you have in Dark Souls 3. Even though I already made a video speaking about the stats and all that. But I'm going to go a little bit deeper into that today because I actually have control of the game and I can actually show you guys a whole bunch of interesting things. Move away from this guy. So backstabs. Backstabs work very much like Dark Souls 1. You just get behind someone, backstab them instantly. Parries, very much the same thing. So, before we move forward though, let's take a look at our gear, shall we? This is your inventory menu. You can equip up to 3 weapons. All of them count towards your equipment ratio. And right now, our weight ratio is at 32%. And I know that you guys are probably wondering, man, that's a pretty sweet roll you got going there. Yeah, it is. This is a fast roll. I don't know what the different degrees of fast roll you can get, but up until 70% weight ratio, it feels very much like a fast roll, or at least a playable roll, so to speak. As a matter of fact, if you start with the Knight class, you can fast roll from the get-go in full plate armor. Now, some of you guys are going to say that's pretty overpowered, but the thing is, the game has things to kind of put you in check. You guys will see that later on. However, having said this, I have to be honest and say that at this point, I'm about 8 hours in, and my main character, and I've killed, I believe, 4 bosses. Now, 8 hours in is not really a good, like a good analogy, because I could have spent 8 hours just exploring the world to the nth degree, so 8 hours in doesn't really tell you that much. But I'm currently 8 hours in with my main character and killed 4 bosses, and the first 3 bosses felt very easy. Now, I know that some people are going to say that the third boss, probably not as easy as I'm making it out to be, but personally, I didn't feel like it was much of a problem. However, I gotta be honest, I'm having a lot more trouble playing as a Pyromancer than I was playing with my strength-based character. But then again, those are just different playstyles. And the reason I want... Oh, crap. No. And that's the flame breath to the face. That's a death. Like I said, I'm much more comfortable with a strength-based character. So yeah, you're gonna see me die often in this starter area. But the reason I wanted to do this is so that I could have some casting options, so that I can actually throw a couple of pyromancies around. Although, to be honest, the pyromancer might have been the worst class for this, because It's fairly simple. Doesn't really change much from the basic Pyromancer in Dark Souls 1. You just start. You have your Pyro Flame. You throw your Pyromancies. Difference is your L2 attack is actually feels like the flame combustion or whatever you call it. So like, let's go for the L2 attack here. As you can see, if you remember, that looks like the animation from combustion, at least to me. But it's pretty slow, so let's go ahead and blast these guys into oblivion here. Have another one. Or interrupt me. But yeah, the L2 on the Pyro Glove doesn't actually do much. The L2 is the button that is also used for your battle art. So for instance, you can see here... Oops, totally messed that up, my bad. You can see here, skill, combustion. Creates a powerful flame in the wielder's hand, one of the most basic pyromancies, and for this very reason, the flame created is fierce. So yeah, it actually is the combustion. I hadn't even read it, so I didn't know that's what it was. But there you go, there's the combustion thing. It also spends mana. Now, you have two types of Estus flasks, which you guys will notice. Right now, we have the regular Estus flask equipped, but you also have the Ashen Estus flask. Ashen Estus flask recovers your mana, and we only have one of those. Now, how this works is that currently I have 4 flasks, and I can distribute them any way I want. I just have to go back to my home base area, which I'm not going to reveal the name of, because I think it's going to be pretty important that players don't know the name of that specific area, at least for now. But yeah, if I go back to my home base area, there's a character in there that will allow me to switch my Estus however I want. So whenever you get an Estus shard, which is a mechanic in here, just like in Dark Souls 2, you increase the number of Estus you can have, which you can then decide, okay, I want to put this, I want to have, say you get, you start off and you have only 4 Estus, right? So if you start off with 4 Estus, you can decide, okay, I want to have 2 mana Estus or 2 healing Estus. And then you get yourself, say, 3 Estus shards or something. At that point, you can decide, okay, I want to have, say, 4 healing flasks and 3 mana flasks. And you can decide that whenever you go back to your home base. So there are my souls from when we died. So the whole mechanic of dying works obviously like all of the other Dark Souls before it. Problem here is that there's a bunch of enemies in there and they're going to come after me, so I'm going to just let the dragon burn them. Usually with a strength character, I would go through that and burn the crap out of everybody. But naturally, with a character like this, I don't want to do that stuff. So, I would also like you guys to pay attention to the visual detail of the game, which is much more improved right now. And obviously, the animation work is also so much better. Like, I love the new animation work. You guys know I'm big into animation, and the animation is just so smooth right now. Now, something problematic for me is these friggin' knights. Like, these knights are a serious problem for me to deal with on this character. Because, again, you guys know that I don't play spellcasters that often. But with my melee character, I can usually just come in here and stomp them down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the old Sense House of Fun trick, and I'm going to burn this sucker down with the fire from the dragon that's upstairs. What, you done? No, just stay there. It's going to be fun, I promise. Here it comes again. Enjoy it. There you go. We're not going to be leveling up throughout this demo, but we could, because we have like 6,000 souls on us. As a matter of fact, I wish I had leveled up. However, I will be going over the different stats that you have. So let me just go over here, kill a couple of these guys that are just sleeping around. And let me give you guys the rundown of the stats real fast. So, let's take a look at the explanation of each of the stats. So right now you have Covenant. Your Covenant shows on the upper left-hand side whenever you have a Covenant equipped. Whenever you discover the Covenants, you actually get an item this time around. And that item, you can equip it whenever you want. So you can switch Covenants on the fly, which is pretty convenient in my opinion. You don't have to like go after some NPC or something. You can just, oh, I want to switch from this Covenant to that Covenant. Boom, instantly done. What is it I want to show you? Oh yeah, the stats. So let's talk about stats. The stats that you have are Vigor. Increases your hit points, which again, I really wish they would exchange Vigor with Vitality for the name, but whatever. Vigor increases your hit points, also increases resistance to frost. Each stat now seems to have some kind of secondary attribute to it, so that's going to be very important whenever you are building your character, so pay attention. governs your hit points as well as resistance to frost. Attunement determines how much FP, that's focus points, also known as mana, and it also determines the number of attunement slots you have. So it determines how many spells you can equip and how much mana you have. So this time around, you don't have to equip, say, the same spell twice, because the spell is going to actually draw from the mana gauge. So you don't have to worry about that. Then you have Endurance, attribute governing stamina and resistance to lightning and bleeding. So this is going to be obviously important because the more stamina you have, the more you can block, the more things you can do. But at the same time, it's also going to increase your resistance to bleeding and lightning. Vitality increases your physical defense, and it also determines how much you can carry. So the vitality stat is just like the vitality stat in Dark Souls 2, determines how much you can carry. So that is now a separate stat from endurance. And it seems like Miyazaki wants to keep it that way. So I'm not a huge fan of that move because I really like the convenience of, I'll just increase my weight limit and increase my stamina gauge. It's great. But now you actually have to make the decision whether you want, which one do you want. It also governs poison resistance. Then you have strength, which, I think we all know what strength does. It also governs resistance to fire and improves attack strength. Improved attack strength basically means weapons that scale with strength. Dexterity, same thing. Attack strength reduces spell casting time, which I heard there was a theory that this was also a thing in Dark Souls 1. Some people couldn't prove it. Eventually someone went back and said, yes, it totally is a thing. Here it actually says right in the stat, improves your spell casting time. So if you want to be a fast casting, like a spell slinger, you got to have some dexterity on you. So just keep that in mind. And it reduces your damage while falling. Intelligence, required to cast sorceries and pyromancies, increases spell potency, but pyromancy is affected by both faith and intelligence, just like Dark Souls 3. Magic defense is also calculated from this attribute. Faith also gets the same thing, your spell potency, pyromancy affected by faith and intelligence, and this also increases your dark defense. And now, the luck stat, which governs item discovery, also increases your bleeding and poison capabilities. What this means is if you have weapons that deal bleeding or poison, they're going to deal more damage and your resistance to curse. So this is a lot to soak in. So, just take your time. And now there's also a stat that's not in here because for some reason this is not available at the start of the game, but it's not a spoiler. It's just something that I would like to mention so that you guys aren't surprised like I was when I noticed it. But there's going to be a stat that appears between your covenant and your level, and that is your hollow stat. And what happens is, in this game, whenever you use an Ember, currently I'm not in my Ember state, I am in my regular state, so say if you think in terms of Demon Souls, I'm in hollow state, okay? If I use an Ember, however, which I believe I have an Ember, no I don't, I guess I'll have to go find one then. Fine, be that way. Gonna make me go look for an Ember now. Kill these dudes. Should I rest at the bonfire? No, I really don't need to. I just need to go find myself an Ember, which I actually know where one is. How many Estus do I have? I have 3? Okay, that's good. Oh, God. Maybe it's not that good. Maybe I'm actually gonna die. Oh, my God. I'm just getting abused out here. And there's 6,000 souls in my corpse right now. Oh my God. So anyway, we started out at one of the bonfires, but I already unlocked the next bonfire before we started this video. So you can instantly travel to any bonfire that you unlocked. However, I'm not going to reveal the bonfires that are further to the left because there's a bunch of bonfires there that I don't want you guys to see. I'm just going to transport to the tower in the wall, which is fairly close to the place where I died. And then, hopefully, I will get my souls back. Not that I actually need them, because I'm just going to use this character for this one video, so it's not a big deal if I lose my souls down there. It's just I would rather not lose my souls down there from an example standpoint. But Jesus Christ, playing a spellcaster right now is just not agreeing with me. Okay. Let's actually do something funny. Like, take that. I missed. Crap. There! And I hit myself with it. It was beautiful. I should have just switched all my Estus flasks to like magic and just spell cast my way throughout this whole thing. It would have been a lot easier. I'm just still thinking with that melee mentality. Something interesting about these undead that you see here. One of these was the one that dropped one of my favorite weapons in the game. So I think that they can pretty much drop any weapon that they're wielding. Also another fun thing, which I haven't told you guys, you can charge your R2s now. So this is a charged R2. This is a charged R2. There you go. But either way, let's go back upstairs now. And I haven't even shown you the battle art of this particular axe. This axe has the Warcry battle art, which I'm a huge fan. Basically, it's a melee damage boost. And it changes your moveset. So say, for instance, right now, let me just kill this guy because he's going to aggro. And then kill this guy. Okay, so say, for instance, right now we have this move. This is my charged R2. However, if I do my battle art, which like I said is Warcry, you can check the battle art of each weapon. So for instance, I go here, switch the thing, skill Warcry, let out a spirited Warcry that temporarily boosts attack. This also changes my moveset. So say I do this is the battle cry. Now, you could clearly see that the charge of the axe changed. Also changes for the one-handed moveset, which I really, really like. And once that wears out, like you see I'm red now, I think it just wore out, it goes back to normal. So that's a pretty cool thing. Let me go ahead and get my mana. Should I get my mana back up? No, I'm going to spend my fire before I do that. Because up ahead, we're going to be fighting a mechanic that you guys will be seeing throughout the game. You probably have seen this in a video somewhere. I think that this mechanic is linked to something that is mentioned during the intro of the game, but I'm not going to be telling you what that is. Like this dude, he's going to aggro and he's going to be like, and he murders everybody around him. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take advantage of being a caster here. I'm going to kill this guy at range. Whoa. Oh, he's not going to follow us? Okay, you can just hang out there. You can just hang out there. I don't mind at all. As a matter of fact, I prefer it. Have that. Interesting thing I noticed about these guys, they seem to be super sensitive to fire. Like, they don't like it at all. Have another one. And then we kill him, and he should be giving us an Ember. Yep, Titanite Shard and an Ember, which allows me to illustrate what I was telling you guys about when I started talking about Embers. So, I told you guys that right now I'm like in the hollow state of Demon Souls. So notice my health, right? It's barely above my stamina. Now let's use the Ember. Notice how the health grew a little bit. Now this is going to scale the more hit points you have, naturally. Let's drink our Ashen Estus flask. And you also gain this effect, which is like if you're on fire. So at this point, if you die, you gain something which is called a hollowing mark, or whatever they call it. There's basically a stat that says hollowing. So the more times you die while you're in this Ember state, whatever the hell you want to call it, alive state, human state. Damn it, it left. Really not dealing enough damage with this character. I'm super unsatisfied with the Pyromancer for a starter class. But that's neither here nor there. Let's keep going. Oops, gotta dodge because there's an arrow incoming. Just gonna kill this guy because he's gonna shoot arrows at us. Gonna leave the other one. And we're gonna take this path here. Because there's a knight in here and I want to fight that knight. Like I said, I'm not gonna show you everything there is to see on this first level because no spoilers. I want to leave you guys a lot of stuff to explore. This knight is particularly challenging because he's got the spear. He's gonna poke at you. He's gonna keep blocking as much as he can. It's gonna be a problem. Oh, god damn it. The dodges! I'm stuck. Stuck. I'm trying to go back to where I came from. Oh my god, this is so bad. I'm actually gonna die here. I don't want to die here. I'm too young to die. God. Why must you do this? Okay, I'm dead. Pretty much dead. Do I have a homeward bone at all, please? Nope. Oh, I guess we're gonna die then. Have these fireballs. Fuck you. And again! And then he kills me with a shield slam to the face. How appropriate. And that is minus 7,000 souls to the face. So now, we were talking about, you know, being alive and the whole hollow state. I think the hollow state should come into play now. No, it doesn't. It doesn't because we're still in the first level. I'm assuming that this only actually comes into play later on, which is what also a curiosity that I personally had because I've only achieved the hollow state in my main character so far. But basically there's a count, and I don't know where it does yet. Because I haven't played enough, because I've been recording the LP so that it's blind and all that, because I know that you guys dig when I do that, so yeah. I've been recording a lot of videos recently, ever since I got access to the game, basically, is what I've been doing. So that's why I've been pretty busy lately. Anyway, let's actually get back to the point that we were at. Just gonna kill a couple more of these. Plunging attacks are still a thing, obviously. And something you can do to deal with this guy, by the way, is that if you just kill him before he transforms, he will actually not transform. So if you ever see one of these guys that's transforming, you can actually kill him before he transforms. Difference is, notice how we got a reward last time for killing him when he was in his transformed state. This time we got absolutely nothing. So it's a risk-reward thing. You can allow them to transform and benefit from it, or you can allow them not to transform. You don't have to deal with it, but you also don't benefit. Damn it. Hate how fast they run now. We got ourselves another raw gem. And yeah, that's another thing that I want to bring up. The upgrades. Upgrade system. If you're familiar with the upgrade system of Dark Souls 2, this uses something very close to that. And speaking of which, they added some new infusions that I hadn't seen in Dark Souls 2, and I thought that those are actually pretty cool. Those are infusions that are a lot more familiar to Demon Souls. So there's a lot of influences from Demon Souls in this game, and in my opinion, that is a good thing. Oh, I thought he was going to stay with his guard open for a while longer. I'm just going to spam you down, son. Take that. Huh? How does that feel? Yeah, I didn't figure you'd like it either. Yeah, these knights are actually pretty tough, particularly if you're playing with a character that you're not comfortable with. Oh crap, we actually lost our souls down there. That's bad. This area is a bit of a pain. That was a really funny scene that I had the first time I came through this area. Unfortunately, there was issues with the recording, so that went kind of sour. But like I said, I'm not going to show you guys everything, but I do want to get this though. I do need this. Jesus, for the love of God, give me this. Give me this at least. Let me have something. Now, the interesting thing about these two shields, which allows me to showcase another mechanic here, is that notice how this shield, it says, damn it, my bad. If you guys notice on the description of the shield, the first thing that it says is what kind of a weapon it is. You know, what's the type of the thing, what's the type of item that you're wielding, and the instant next thing below it is what you get. Not the instant next, I'm confusing guys so hard. That middle text, the third line, tells you the battle art of the weapon. So, for instance, on this axe, battle art, war cry. On this shield, battle art, weapon skill. So what this means is that this particular shield allows you to use the battle art from your right-hand weapon. Now, if I switch shields to the other one, notice how it says parry. So this is a parrying shield. What that means is whenever you have a shield like this on you, and you press your L2, you're going to get a parry. Whenever you have a shield like this, you're going to get your battle art. So that's something very important, because with this shield, I effectively cannot parry. So that's a choice that you're going to have to make whenever you choose which shield you're going to have on your character. Do you want a shield that allows you to parry, or would you rather have a shield that allows you to do your battle art with one hand? And that, again, is going to bring a lot of diversity to builds, on top of the stats and how each stat affects different things, like bleeding effects and stuff like that. Having having different weapons and different shields is going to diversify playstyles immensely. Now, I really wish I would get a secondary weapon, but... Titanite shard, I thought that there was a weapon in here. Holy crap, someone threw a bomb at me. Bastard. So there's a bunch of barrels in here, as you guys can clearly see, and those barrels are going to screw you over pretty hard. Did someone actually aggro on me? I don't think so. So what I'm going to try and do here is, I know that there's a big enemy around here. And I want to try and see if I can get him. There he is. There he is. You want some of this, don't you? Yeah, come a little bit closer. I got something for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my Estus flask. And then I'm going to try something really stupid. A nice little plunging to the face, followed by a bunch of fireballs. Fireball! He does a bit of a blade storm attack there that you guys saw. No thank you, not this time, because I have a decent shield now. Man, he didn't even drop his weapon. Nobody's dropping their weapons. Damn. Gonna have to pick up a rapier just to show you guys a different weapon than the axe that I'm wielding right now. So, I was a lot luckier with my main character, so if you guys want to see weapons, and you don't mind spoilers, you're going to be seeing some of that in the Let's Play that I'm going to be uploading later today, and throughout the next couple of days there should be a couple more videos of Dark Souls coming out. But those are going to actually start revealing parts of the game that you might not want to see. I'll kill this guy. And this guy. Now we're going to pick up whatever this thing is, which I don't even remember. Soul of the Deserted Corpse. But now we have a bit of a breathing room here, which I want to make use of that to go ahead and show you guys a different weapon. So, here we have the rapier. Now, naturally I don't have enough dexterity to wield this weapon as a pyromancer, but I can equip it and you can test out the moveset regardless. So here's the moveset for this. This is your charged R2. It's just a really violent poke. And then, let's take a look and see what the battle cry of this is. The battle cry of this, the battle art of this weapon is stance. Stance is actually a common battle art between swords. And what it does is it puts you in a stance like this. Oh, this is a different stance though. And on regular swords, when you press your R1, you're going to get a guard break ability, which seems to be the case here as well. However, this stance also spends mana, so keep that in mind. Whenever you do a move in this stance, it's going to use out your mana. And then when you do your R2, you're going to get... Ooh! That's fancy. That's real fancy. But yeah, different weapons have different skills. Personally, right now, I'm kind of in love with the Warcry, which all of the axes seem to have. So yeah, I've been using a lot of Warcry in my main character because it changes the moveset, does a lot of really cool stuff. Now we have another knight to contend with, so I'm going to back away. Have some fireball action, son. Have some more. I know you like it. No, don't punish me! Oh my god, that thrust. How about I backstab you, though? No? Not going to let that happen? Okay. How about I spam you? That works for me, too. You mind dropping something? An Ember, out of all things. That's fine. We'll use the Ember. We'll go back to human. It will allow us to stay in the area for a little while longer, because I don't want to show you guys too much. I mean, we've spoken about spell casting. Something important is that battle arts are also valid for stuff like pretty much everything that's a weapon has a battle art. So that includes staves and stuff like that. So the Pyromancy Flames battle art is the combustion spell. But for instance, there are staves that can give you like a temporary boost to magic damage, the same way that Warcry gives you a temporary boost to physical damage. And things of that nature. You can also have, for instance, spell tools like, you know, miracle tools. What do you call those? I forget. Whatever. Talismans. You can have talismans that increase your miracle potency, for instance. Or maybe there's a talisman that casts a certain... that just casts a certain miracle. There's the backstab. It's not an easy thing to backstab these guys. However, the charged R2 is just... made to deal with whenever someone's down, because it allows you to actually charge up an attack. Very important on these knights, a little bit of a tip, never circle at them from the right, because they have that quick shield bash thing. That is very annoying. So circle at them from the left. There you go. Man, I really wish I had gotten more weapons. There's another weapon that we can get here that I can showcase, though, luckily. I think it's a halberd. Hopefully I won't die to get this. Oh no, it's Lucy! Okay, Lucy works too. So there's a fairly early on Lucy for all you Lucy lovers out there. Oh my god, is he going to chase me all the way here, or is he going to back out? Back out, please? Good. Let me equip another weapon so that I can show you guys. Here's Lucy. You still have same. I mean, this screen of like stats and stuff works very much like every other screen on Dark Souls. So you have your attribute bonuses down there, additional effects, attribute requirements, all that stuff. However, I can't show you guys here, but you can't actually dual wield the same way that you dual wield in Dark Souls 2. It seems that to dual wield, at least from my experience so far, like I said, 8 hours in, I've attempted to dual wield a couple of things. You can dual wield the items. So say, for instance, I want to dual wield Lucy and, I don't know, friggin' rapier. I can do that. You can dual wield and you can attack with them individually. However, you cannot actually get into the dual wield stance. Now, you guys are going to say, oh, that's because you don't have the requirements, etc., etc. It's not the case. Like, I tried, my character has a lot of strength. I tried dual wielding, you know, the most basic of clubs and keeping triangle pressed to get into actual dual wield stance. Did not work. So the way that seems to work now is you have to pick up certain items that allow for dual wielding, like the Legion scimitars that they've been showing on certain gameplay videos, which I actually don't have on this character, so I can't show you guys right now. But you need to pick up a specific item, and once you go into two-handed mode, instead of going into handed mode, it switches to dual wield mode. That's the way that dual wielding seems to work right now. Once again, these are impressions of someone who's only played 8 hours of Dark Souls 3 up until this point. What is the other thing that I wanted to show you guys? So we talked about spell casting, the different battle arts that you can get. We talked about the fast rolls and how, you know, you have a lot more lenience in the amount of weight that you can have. As a matter of fact, I can probably break that weight to show you guys what a fat roll looks like if you're curious. So let me just do, let's put Lucy, that's 54. Let's put this thing, let's equip another shield. Let's equip something else that actually has some weight to it. That's 67%. Do I have anything that's heavier? The steel soldier helmet there, 75%. This is what a fat roll feels like. So the fat roll is almost like a medium roll in Dark Souls 1. This is your fat roll. Just switch back to my items again. I can actually keep the helmet because I'm still not in fat roll territory through this. So we spoke about the Estus flasks, reinforcing them, changing them around. The upgrade system is a lot more familiar to Dark Souls 2, and it also adds new things that I don't think I've mentioned, but like you can have, say for instance, you see this weapon, not this weapon, because this weapon doesn't have any scalability, but see this hand axe, for instance. This hand axe has scaling D for strength and D for dexterity. Say for instance, you're going for a really heavy strength build, and for some strange reason, you really have to use this axe. Or better yet, a better example would be Lucerne. Say you're going for a really heavy strength build, and for some reason you're like, no, I want to do Lucy in a heavy strength build. There's an upgrade path to your weapons that allows you to lower the base damage by a little bit and increase the scaling of strength. Or if you want, increase the scaling of dexterity. So you can lower the base damage by just a little and increase scaling on a certain stat, or add bleed to it, or add fire to it, or lightning, or whatever, you know, the basic infusions that you had in Dark Souls 2, but on top of that, also have this new thing like, I want to increase my strength scaling on this weapon. And that, coupled together with all of these battle arts and all of these other things that we've been talking about, I feel is going to give you a lot of diversity when it comes to builds. And now I'm probably going to die to this knight right here. Whoa. But I'm going to try to kill him. So you guys might be seeing a couple of micro stutters. I'm not sure if this is because it's early code. I've actually reported this to Bandai Namco so that they can check it out. Because this code is still not the final version of the game. I'm not sure if that is why I'm experiencing some micro stutters, or if it's actually from my GPU. Maybe the 970 is having certain issues with this. I don't know yet. But I wouldn't expect you guys to have this problem once you hit the final version. Personal opinion here. Anyway, looks like we don't have a lot of health, so I'm going to try and get this guy. I'm probably going to fail miserably at it, but you got to take a chance, right? You just have to do it. So this is a much tougher knight. Like, if you guys remember in Demon Souls, you had the knights who had the red eyes, and they were a lot tougher than regular ones. Crap, he enchanted his weapon. And he one-shot me. Well, not one-shot me. I didn't have my full health or anything, but yeah, he pretty much murdered me dead. But anyway, I really don't have a whole lot more to show you guys here without going into like spoiler territory and stuff like that, because I want to even keep this particular area as free as possible. I just wanted to bring up as many talking points as I could think of for a video, so that those of you that don't want to get spoiled and you still want to see some Dark Souls 3 footage have an option here. Other than that, overall, my impressions of the game so far, like I said, I felt that the first 3 bosses were kind of easy, or maybe they were just easy for a strength build, I don't know. The 4th boss felt a little bit more challenging, but I eventually brute forced through him with just like sheer strength and beast moding him with charged R2s. Yeah, it just felt a little bit easier there, but I think that what they are doing with this Dark Souls is that they are giving people a much softer learning curve, because I also get the feeling that 8 hours in, I'm not even close to seeing half of what the game has to offer. Because, for instance, if you guys remember how fast you can upgrade a weapon in Dark Souls 2, all the way up to, say, +4, because in Dark Souls 1, weapons split up their upgrade paths in 3s, right? In Dark Souls 1, they split up their upgrade paths in 5. So you go to +5, then you go to +10, then you go to +15. And Dark Souls 2, it's in 3s. So first you go to +3, then you go to +6, then you go to +9, and eventually +10, which, if I'm not mistaken, is the maximum. It's been a while since I played Dark Souls 2, so don't quote me on that. But as I was saying, this one splits the path in 3s. And what's happened to me so far is that I've upgraded my main weapon all the way up to +3, and in 8 hours of gameplay, I haven't found a single large Titanite shard. Not a single one. I found like the equivalent of Demon Titanite, but I haven't found a large Titanite shard, which is why I'm feeling that I'm still very early on into the game, and that's 8 hours in. I've done a lot of exploration. Also, I think the game does a much better job of not of introducing new players to the series with their with the tutorials and stuff, with just characters telling you, oh, here's what you should do. And even in terms of like explaining the lore a little bit, I'm not talking like, oh, it goes full narrative mode like fucking Mass Effect. No, but it actually for the people that really don't feel like doing all of the research to fully understand, you know, who's Gwyn's firstborn, or what is the deal with Gwendolyn, and why is he, you know, why is it that Anne Orlando is apparently like an illusion? What's the deal behind all of these things? In Dark Souls 3, so far, I feel like they've done a better job of explaining me what's going on in the world than in other Souls games. And this without giving me the whole narrative-driven stuff. They're just doing it by, you know, they're just doing it the way that they do it in Souls games. Just like, you keep, whoa, scumbag. You just go through dialogue options, and that's kind of how you get it, and you look at certain items and whatnot. But for some reason, I just feel that I'm understanding the story in this one a lot better on my first playthrough than I understood, say, the story of Dark Souls 2, for instance, you know? So that's also pretty positive, in my opinion. Let's go ahead and try to aggro a couple of these guys. Have some of that! Or just burn the dog down. Oh, that was pretty cool how he had a different animation for the burning. I haven't done a lot of spell casting, as you guys can see. Jumping attacks are still a thing, but I really like the charge attacks. I mean, once you go with the charge attacks that you've seen in Bloodborne and the likes, you really, it's hard to go back to not having charge attacks. I'm gonna use up another Ember because why the hell not? Like I said, this character is just for this video for you guys. Now, if you guys have any specific questions about Dark Souls 3, make sure to leave those in the comment section. I'll be sure to check this comment section often so that I can answer specific questions, because I know there's going to be a lot of people with questions. But I just wanted to do something so that you guys could watch something without being spoiled. Let's try to kill this guy. I'd love to get his halberd so that I could show you guys the moveset. Moveset on it's pretty cool. It'd also be cool if you casted a spell. Oh shit! So you see, that's a special attack that you can do if you have that halberd. There's a spell. This spell's really badass looking. It doesn't deal that much damage, but it just looks badass. Leaping attack! Can I have your weapon? I guess not. I guess he's still not in a very sharing mood. Which sucks. I'm gonna go ahead and drink my Estus flask now. Gonna kill a couple of more knights, but that is probably going to be it for this video. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it, and like I said, remember, if you have any questions, post them in there. If you're looking forward to my playthrough, it's not going to be fully blind because I had issues with my recording equipment and I lost the first 4 episodes. So the first 4 episodes are like the second time of me going through those areas of the game. But after that, everything gets real sweet. There's some really funny stuff. There's some really cool stuff in the playthrough. But again, I can understand if you guys don't want to watch it, if you want to have the fresh experience, because I can completely relate to that. Hopefully, I've answered a lot of the questions that you guys had. Hopefully, you've gotten a feel for the game. I know that some of you probably want to see what it's like to play naked, to see how much faster it is, and I can assure you it's not that much faster than your regular rolls. I mean, sure, it's a little bit faster, but it's not a huge difference in my opinion, whereas the difference in damage that you take is quite considerable. I shouldn't have unequipped my Pyromancer's Flame, because I needed to kill these knights. Give me my flame! My flame! I needs it! Whoa, 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 chill. Almost had the backstab on him. They do stagger though, so you can still stagger them, at least with an axe. I'm not sure if they're going to stagger this hard with a sword, but with an axe they certainly do. When you ask them a question, ha ha ha! Kinda sucks that I haven't gotten a single sword, because these guys also drop their swords and stuff. So it would be good if we could get a sword. But yeah, that's going to be it, you guys. Like I said, questions, comments, all that kinds of good stuff in the video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.